Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. I was just recording about 15 minutes of this episode with no audio. And once I realized, I decided to start over. So here I am near the top of the map, preparing for Blue Science packs. Let's see. For Blue Science packs, we have 3 different ingredients. So right now I'm just pasting down with my blueprints. This is a copy of the input stations from the red circuit build. Okay, so we're going to bring in sulfur, advanced circuits, and engine units. One of the things that I was explaining to no one just a few minutes ago is that since the last episode, I decided to just build offline the rail station or the grid section for engine units. So I'm making, with 4 machines, I'm making engine units, okay, with the pipes and gears being made here on site. And then I have 1 machine in each column making electric engine units. So this pulls the engine units off of the belt directly. And then the rest of those engine units that aren't used to make the electric ones continue to travel up the belt. Okay, so now I've got 2 trains here. These trains are not going to need depots because they're going to single destinations. And I shouldn't need any more than 1 train to handle the amount of throughput that I want. So, for example, these engine units are only going to be made, they're only going to the Blue Science factory. They won't go anywhere else. So rather than bother with the depot, I'll just have this train set directly to load here and then go there and unload and then come back here and load again. Similarly, for the electric engine units, those are going to be used to make flying robot frames for utility science packs. And again, we have a single destination, single train. Now, if there's a case where I have a single destination, but I need multiple trains, for example, green circuits going to red circuits, I'll probably need more than 1 green circuit train for that. So in that case, it does make sense to use a depot. Or if you have a single item going to multiple destinations, in that case, it makes sense to have a depot. But single train going to a single destination, I think we can do without the depot itself and shouldn't have any problem. Now, the other thing is that if you look at the engine build, because I talked in the last episode about switching over exclusively to red belts, I did build this with red belts, but then I started to regret it because it was taking a long time. Like by the time I ran out of belts as I was building, I would go back to the starter base to get more red belts, and there weren't enough made yet. They take a while to make because they require so many gears. 5 gears for a red belt, plus the gear that goes into the transport belt. So we're talking 6 gears to make a single red belt. The underground belts take 40 gears each, plus the gears it takes to make the belts that go into that. So they get to be very expensive, and especially when we get to the point that we're using blue belts, when we're building the base in its final form. I feel like we're probably just going to need a dedicated factory just to make belts and splitters and undergrounds, because we're going to need many thousands of them. And, that starter base is going to be too slow. Well, I'll just end up waiting for belts to be made half the time, and that's no fun. So, okay. So like I said, I've got engines, I've got sulfur, I have the other thing. Oh yeah, red circuits. I also made a depot for the red circuits, which I didn't have before. So for now, I made this for half red and half blue. We're not making blue circuits yet, but it's there for when it's ready. Oh, and I also made a second refinery because I was finding that this, the sulfur and battery factory was running out of petroleum gas. And the trains would come over here to fill up, and then they would go to plastic. And then the next train would come here to fill up, and then it would go to plastic. So I wasn't getting any petroleum gas over here. I'm not quite sure how TSM prioritizes things. I was expecting that it would do a round robin or something, but it wasn't working that way. So I decided to build a second refinery. I just took a blueprint of this entire grid cell and plopped it down next to it. So now I've got 2 refineries, and that's helped. And now I have trains full of petroleum gas just waiting for the demand. And then down here in the starter base, I've been continuing to clean things up. Both of these are now completely paved with stone brick. I left the refinery, but I removed pretty much everything else that was not part of the new mall. So it's starting to get cleaned up, almost done being cleaned up, I would say. And I'm bringing in red circuits now over here as well, right? So those are going over here to feed the mall, and soon I'll be able to use these to, perhaps to start making modules over here. I don't know if I'll do it here or pick another grid section. But, this might be a good place to have a module factory just because I'll have red, green, and blue circuits. I can bring those in by train and start making those. Okay, so I decided to put blue science here since I have engines and sulfur here on this row, and I also have the red circuit depot on this row. So it made sense to put this on the same row as those. And that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, so let's rename these stations. Well, first let's decide what's what. I don't think it matters. We're going to need to combine 2 belts are going to need to be combined onto one, and then the third item will be on its own belt. So I don't think it really matters which one is which. Let me see. I suppose the red circuits should be the one on their own belt since they use the most, but either way, the consumption rate will be low enough that we could just have 3 half belts and it would be fine. Okay, so let's just do them in order. So we'll do this one as sulfur, we'll do this one as red circuits, and we'll do this one as engine units. Okay, so we'll rename the stations. So this is going to be item equals chemical science pack. What did I say this was? Sulfur. Item equals sulfur. Unload. Okay, and then I copy that. And then I just remove the X and change this to item equals advanced circuit. And then this one, item equals engine unit. Okay. In the engine unit, I'm actually just going to use a plain station. A vanilla station. Okay, so that one we can get started with right away, since that's a very simple algorithm. We go there until we're full. One thing I notice is even if you're using these icons, if you search for a word that's in the, the tag text, it'll find it. So we need to send it there until empty. Okay. And I've noticed that I've got a bit of a mess here with the wires. That's bothering me a little bit, so let's get rid of that. I think the easiest way will just to be to pick up all the steel chests and then place them back down again. And then in this case, I don't need any of the wiring. Okay, copy that. And then copy all of that. There we go. And the train is not here because my train is blocking the path. All right, so let's move my train down there so the engines can get in here and unload. Okay, so let's check quantities. Request at 4,000, I think is okay for red circuits. That's half of a wagon. Okay, so we'll assign that to red circuit number 1. Train on the way. And then sulfur, I don't remember the stack size. 50. Okay, so that means a wagon of sulfur is 2,000. So let's do half a wagon there as well. So we'll request when it gets to 1,000. And we'll assign that priority. I haven't created it yet. Okay. We need to make the priority for the sulfuric acid. No, sulfuric acid I've got. Don't I? Sulfuric acid 1 depot. Huh. Okay, I thought I made that already. So I need to create these. That's in fluids. Okay. Oh, I guess, okay, yeah, there it is. And this one I think I can delete. I'm going to delete that one. I think it's going to break my train for mining, but I'll fix it. I need to make one for batteries. Whoops. And I need to make for sulfur. Where's my sulfur going again? No. Did I not do that? Maybe I don't need a depot for sulfur. Huh. I think I don't need a depot for sulfur. Because I'm not doing... I think sulfur is only used to make acid and to make science packs. Okay, so no depot for sulfur. I don't think. If I'm wrong, then I'll fix it later, but... I think for sulfur we're okay, but... No, that's fine. I'm only making it in one place. Okay, so we'll do a direct train route for sulfur. I don't want to type the name of that thing in again, so I'm going to copy it onto that. I'll remove that, put a new one there, and then copy it back. Okay. All right, so let's take this train, and we're going to send you to Blue Science Sulfur Unload until empty. Yeah. Okay. There we have it. Okay, so we'll get more engines when that train is full, and we'll get more sulfur when that train is full. And then the red circuits will only come when called. All right, so let me look at my calculator. So for Blue Science, we're going to need 24 machines, and that very happily is a multiple of 8. Let's start in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is the middle right there. Okay, Blue Science packs. And then I just need 2 belts in and 1 belt out. So I think I'll just do it like this. We'll make it nice and simple. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Does that cover all of those? Yes, it does. And 1 light. Okay. No, let's leave it like that. All right, so that's easy enough. So there's 2, 3, and 4. And then there were 8. And I've got lots of yellow belts, and by the time I need more, I'm sure there'll be around another 1,000 that are ready for me. Okay, good. I think I've learned that routing from the outside in works well. So which ones do I want to combine and which ones don't I? I think I prefer to combine the more expensive ingredients. I don't think it makes any difference really in the long run, but that just feels right to me. So let's combine those two, and I'll run the sulfur on its own belt. Okay, and that one can end there. Should have trimmed that before I copied. Okay. All right. So I'll copy this a bunch of times just to make it go a little faster. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. This one goes up there. And that one goes there. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. I'll be taking the same quantity from each of these, more or less. Okay, now things become a little more complicated. Let's see, that comes over to there. And then this one we can bring up here. Let's see. Oops. All right. So let's do that. And that. And then that one can go there. And then this one goes there. Okay, so I think we've got everything. And let's power it up. Okay, great, easy. And now we need to run belts on the output side. All the way up. Okay, and then let's copy one of these science pack loading stations. Minus the belts. Okay, and my bots are missing. I'll turn off my RoboPort. Okay, let's recharge. I'm going to need to go back for more belts anyway. All right, I'll just come up here so I can get this part built. I'll try to stay out of range of those belts. And I'll just run those manually when I have more belts available. Okay, change the name of this. Okay, so let's go get more belts, and I think I probably need more rail as well. So I'll need to make the, actually I probably don't need an input stacker either, to be honest. Did I put input stackers on the other ones? Yeah, I did. I mean, I'm never going to have more than one. All right. Yeah, I'm never going to have more than one science pack train, I don't think. so I don't really need a stacker, but I guess at this point I'd rather just make them all consistent. And that's one thing that I've, over my many bases built and many hours played at Factorio, I've really gotten to the point where I like to sort of have a standard design for various elements of the base. Like the stackers, input stations, output stations, various parts of the build. To me, that's really satisfying, not only to have a base that is well organized, but also to have a base that is consistent and regular, where things are done in a similar way. And, and that's just and these standards that I like to use, a lot of them just come from lots of experience. And every time I build a base, I find something that I like about it, something that I don't like about it. And I try to remember the things that I do like and repeat those. And the things I don't like, I try to avoid repeating if I can. Okay, since we're here, let's put a train on the rails so that it can be dispatched right away. So 4 trains, and then we need 8 wagons. And I'll go ahead and tell this to go. I'll go ahead and program it with the route. It won't be able to go yet because there's no path to the station until we finish building the rail. But as soon as that path appears, the train should leave here and head over. Okay, and then I'm going to limit these to a single row. Right, and then I Control-click to copy that setting. All right, so this is going to go to Chemical Science Pack Load until full, and then go to Chemical Science Unload until empty. And it's going to start to flash no path, which I already know. That's fine. You will have a path very soon. Okay, yeah, let's come over here so we can finish building the rail, and then we'll go in and finish up the belts, and then we'll be in business. I'll let it fill for a couple of minutes, and then we'll send it over to the labs and start doing some more research, which will be a very satisfying feeling. Since we've been looking at explosive rocketry being about 80% complete for such a long time, it'll be nice to actually get that finished. All right, and for that, okay, I can use this as my template. I should probably just put these in a blueprint book. These input and output stackers, so I don't have to keep looking for places on the map to copy them. And I know it's early. We're about 20 episodes into this series, 20 something. There's still a lot of work to be done before we get to 2,500 science packs a minute. But I'm already starting to try to come up with some ideas for what the next series will bring. I would like to do something that I haven't done before. That's always a goal, is to try something that's at least a little bit different. At least different for me. It might not be different from what other people have done. I was telling some of the guys in Discord that I think most of the good factory ideas have already been done by one YouTuber or another, which leaves us mostly with crazy ideas or or gimmicky ideas to work with. But if any of you have suggestions, let me know. I still would like to finish a game with Bobs and Angels mods, because I've never done that. I had a series going for a while before, but I abandoned it because I got burned out with it. I didn't really know what I was doing. The base was not functioning well, and it got to the point that I just was not enjoying myself. So if I do Angels and Bobs again, I'm going to do it after I make sure that I've got some experienced people that are available to help me when I get stuck on things. So if any of you have done that, have a lot of experience with Angels and Bobs, and have built large bases that work well, and you would like to support me, please stop by the Discord and let me know if you're willing to volunteer for that role. There are other ideas as well, but that's one of the more compelling ones for me. I feel that I was defeated by the mod pack, and I need to seek vengeance. I think oh, will I have enough belts? I think I might have to go back again. It's getting close. And I still have to get these to the chests. Okay. Let's connect. All right, yeah, I've got 158 belts left, so it might be enough to finish the job. Have they stopped? Oh, okay. No, they're still going. Good. Okay, and I think the thing to do here is to make these from this side first. Yeah, I'm not gonna, well, I don't know. I might have enough. I'm not gonna say I won't until I'm sure. Where is the train? I should have a path here already, but there's no train here. So we'll have to get that figured out. Oh, it's probably my train blocking it again. All right. That seems to be the case. Okay. I have 3 belts to spare. Yeah. I keep parking in the way. There. Let's just park over there. I don't think anybody needs to go there. All right, there we go. And we start loading. Okay, that's 64 science packs in each wagon. I'll wait for these next few to get in, and then we'll go over to the labs so that you can at least see some research starting before I end the episode. I'm not going to bother limiting the chests, I don't think. All right, let's go. I really like this automatic train painter mod. The trains look really good. Okay, and then it will leave almost immediately. All right, let's get some science done, guys. That feels good. Okay, now we can do energy weapons damage, which I was really hoping I would get done soon. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, let's not do that. Let's do gunships, because that's one that I can actually use. Cancel that. Do gunships. That's one that I can use. I don't think there's any other military research that I'm terribly interested in besides that. Because I want this one because I think it's a faster plane that might be more useful. So let's see if we can get that one done. Oh, that takes 500. Okay. We just fed it what, 68, I think. Well, we have a little bit of productivity, but we're going to need a lot more. We're going to need a lot more science. Okay. Let's see how many we have in here now. 12. Okay. Well, I'm going to let this fill up for a bit, and then I'll send it over again, so at least we can get gunships done, and then I'll just put it back in automatic mode for the research. So we can mark that complete. So the next task is going to be blue circuits. We already have all the ingredients on the train network. So I will say, if no one objects, and I'm going to record the next episode before you see this one anyway, so nobody can object. So I'm going to build blue circuits on my own, because it's going to be pretty much like what you saw today. 3 train stations in, 1 train station out, and a few factories. And then we only need low density structures so that we can get to utility science. Low density structures require copper, steel, and plastic, which we also have. And we will need to do the flying robot frames, which we are going to construct in the science pack grid. And that takes steel batteries, circuits, and engine units. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build blue circuits and low density structures on my own. And in the next episode that I record, we'll get to work on utility science packs, which will bring in the processing units, low density structures, and all of the ingredients that we need for flying robot frames, of which there are 4. So we're going to have 6 inputs into that grid cell. So that'll be interesting. All right. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.